Om Namo Pranavardhaya Shuddha Jnanakamurtaye Nirmalaya Prashantaya Dakshinamurti. Gurave Sarvalokanam Bhishaje Bhavaroginam Nidhaye Sarvavidyanam Dakshinamurti. Human consciousness is like a seed. A seed has the possibility of a tree, of the leaves, of the branches, of the fruits, of the flowers. Of multiplication. So also is human mind. A seed needs a proper ground, proper conditions, sunlight, water, proper soil for it to sprout and blossom in its possibility. Isn't it? Same is the case with the human consciousness, human mind. Either this seed can be dormant for years together, keeping its possibility within itself, or start blossoming, start sprouting. The sprouting of the seed of human consciousness is viveka, discrimination, wisdom. Freedom comes with viveka or discrimination. All other species in this creation are governed by nature totally. They don't need discrimination, nor do they have freedom. So they never break the laws of nature. Human consciousness, human mind has this possibility of freedom, has been given freedom, so it is also given discrimination. It's through this viveka, wisdom, discrimination, that a human mind, human consciousness can be governed to progress or to remain where it is. You would not find any animal overeating. Generally, if they are sick or if they are perverted, they may do anything. But normally animals, they just eat or they mate in time. They eat in time. They rest in time. They have no choice. But human beings have this freedom to eat whenever they want, do whatever they want. This freedom is given along with the discrimination, along with the wisdom. along with these consequences of action, knowledge of consequences of action, so that a human can choose and live life with wisdom. Are you getting what I'm saying? Speciality of human life, it's governed by vivek, wisdom, discrimination. And how this should come up, how this had to be enhanced, how to make the seed sprout, how to make the sapling. Once the sapling has come, then you keep watering it again and again, now and then it grows. A seed has the possibility, but if it is not watered, then the possibility remains a possibility and doesn't manifest. Here Patanjali steps in and says, Yoganganushtana. By practicing the limbs of yoga, by observing the limbs of yoga, through yoga, Ashuddhikshaya, the impurities gets eliminated, Avivekakyati, the viveka, the wisdom shines forth. The husk is gone, the sprout moves through its membrane and comes up. Now, what are the limbs of yoga? It says 8 limbs of yoga are there. What are they? Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dhyana, Dharana, Samadhi. Now he goes into the details of each and what is the result that you can expect from each one of these. Yoga has 8 limbs. Like a chair has got 4 legs, yoga has got 8 legs, say 8 limbs. Each one is connected with the whole. So you just pull one, everything else will come. If you pull one leg of the chair, the whole chair comes. See, when a body is developed, the whole body develops together. All the limbs develop together, isn't it? It's not that nose develops first and then ear comes. Simultaneously, all the aspects, all the limbs of a body develop. That's why Patanjali said these are all limbs of yoga. But unfortunately, people think these are all stages, one after another we have to achieve. This is where a wrong understanding or misconception has crept in yoga. The 8 limbs of yoga. Yama is the first limb. What are yamas? Ahimsa, Satya, Asteya, Brahmacharya, Aparigraha. These are 5 yamas. Ahimsa, non-violence. Satya, truth. Asteya, non-stealing. Brahmacharya, moving in Brahman, moving in the bigness. Aparigraha, non-accumulation. These are 5 yamas. Jati, Desha, Kala, Samaya, Navachinna, Sarvabhauma, Mahavratam. These are the greatest oaths because it is applicable at all time, in all places, for all people, throughout, without an exception. There are certain laws which can apply just to certain people, certain places, at certain time, which is not universal. But these are universal. These 5 principles. An animal does not go into violence for no reason. Animals hunt, even the wild animals, they hunt only when they are hungry and when they want to eat. They don't just go and hunt or bite anybody out of pleasure. But human beings do. They go for hunting for no reason. A python eats 1 rat a month and that's it. It sleeps for the rest of the month. Just 1 rat a month is good enough for it. Though it's scary and dangerous. If it swallows a goat or eats something bigger, it can stay for several months doing nothing. And it will not harm or kill any other animal. But human beings, in the name of God, in the name of love, they kill each other. Mindless violence is prevalent in the world. In the name of country, in the name of religion, in the name of what not? Race. This is absolute nonsense. This is total lack of viveka, total lack of wisdom. A violent man cannot hear to anybody. His ears are gone, they are sealed off. And violence, why violence comes? How does it come? Due to frustrations. Mind gets frustrated and frustrated, and the frustration builds up. Big question mark comes up, and that very question turns into violence. Why? And it catches on to the surrounding. A crowd commits a violence. Individually, a person may not be able to do that same violent act. But when a man is in a crowd, he joins hand. Viveka can dawn when person takes this vow of non-violence. I will not kill any animal, any life on this planet, consciously, unconsciously. I mean, without your knowledge, already you are destroying many creatures. You walk and many ants are dying underneath your feet. You're not doing, you're not killing them. It is happening. But an intention to destroy something, the intention to be violent, can cut your very basis, your own root. Dropping this intention for violence is ahimsa. And then satya is to be with what is right now. To be with something that is non-changing. To know that something deep in you is non-changing. Satya does not mean just speaking truth. Do you see what I'm saying? Satya is total commitment for truth. It's not just the words. Unfortunately, people mistake Satya to be just speaking words. Just speaking things. Blunt. Being blunt, many people consider I am truthful. Do you see what I'm saying? What is the effect of ahimsa? It says ahimsa pratishtayam tat sannidho vairatyaga. If you are established in non-violence, in your very presence, violence will be dropped by other creatures. Someone comes to attack you, and as soon as they come near you, because your vibration is totally non-violent, they drop down. They stop being violent. A contemporary of Buddha, maybe you have not heard his name very much in the West. His name is Mahavira. Contemporary of Buddha. He is the promoter of Jain religion. It's another religion. Jainism. His emphasis is more on ahimsa. And he said, wherever he would walk, to 20 kilometers around that, people would all drop their violence. And the stories go to that extent, says even the thorns would not prick anybody. The thorns would become soft and they all lie down. Ahimsa pratishtayam tat sannidho vairatyaga. Established in non-violence. In your presence, violence will be dropped by other creatures. Satya pratishtayam kriya phalashriyatvam. Established in truth, your actions will become fruitful. Any act you do, that will be fruitful. See, many people do their actions, but their actions does not bring about results. There is no truth consciousness inside. When there is truth consciousness inside, established in truth, then the fruit of action will follow the action immediately. Kriya Palashrita. Success in action comes. Getting what I'm saying? And truth is not just the words. Again, it's a quality of consciousness, of straightforward. Even if you are telling a lie and you are bold enough to say, I am telling a lie right now, then you are speaking truth. And when you tell a lie, see, your consciousness is not solid, it's not straightforward, it's all wishy-washy. There is no strength behind it, isn't it? Satya Pratishtayam Kriya Palashrit. A person who is committed to truth, who is committed to what is this presence of being, for him success comes easily, follows. Not that he will not encounter failures. He may encounter failure, but he will win at Satyameva Jayate is a slogan. Like we trust in God is what is written in American dollars. In India it says the truth alone trumps. This is the slogan. Truth will definitely win. Though intermittently it may appear to be not winning. There is a story. The king of Delhi, the emperor of Delhi, India was is a collection of many small states, so there was an emperor. The emperor in Delhi had a wise minister called Birbal. He was like a clown too. Once the emperor himself was a clown. He used to make funny laws and rules. Once he said, in this country, anybody who says a lie will be hanged. This was the law. Say this law is going to be implemented. Because kings, they would make their own laws. It's all up to their fancies. There was no parliament, there was no congressman to sit and debate and pass a law. It was a monarchy. So he made a rule, from tomorrow anybody who speaks a lie. He heard a big talk, lecture on truth, and he was all enthusiastic. Okay, I am going to make everybody speak truth. So as he announced this law, then in the marketplace there was big commotion. What was the commotion? All the lawyers gathered together. Said, what is this law? This is stupid law. It will just flatten our whole business. Our whole profession will be finished. This is an insult to the Supreme Court. If he makes this law, then where is the question of debate? All lawyers are out of jobs. They all met together, the Bar Association said, we have to do something. This cannot go on like this. In another corner, all the merchants gathered together. All the salesmen said, what is happening? Our king is selling our country. This is disastrous. How can we sell anything? We know our product is not the best, but we claim this is the best product. We buy things for 3 pennies and sell it for 13 pennies. And we say we are just making margin, no profit. We are actually giving you free. Take it. All these gimmicks of business, they would all go flat. They said, this is outrageous. We cannot go. Do something. And then all the astrologers gathered together. And they said, finished. We are finished. No more clients to us. And all the priests gathered. Same story. And the doctors gathered. They said, oh, we have to migrate to some other country. This law is too dangerous. The doctors promise their patients, don't worry, I will cure this one. You will be fine tomorrow. I am here, you won't die. They insure their patients. They all approached this wise minister in the king's court. Birbal said, come on Birbal, you have to do something. What has happened to our king? He needs a psychiatric treatment. Says, anybody who speaks a lie will be hanged. Anyone who doesn't speak truth will be hanged. This is outrageous. Birbal said, okay, I'll do something. So next day, Birbal, this minister, entered king's bedroom. He was trying to enter. Then these two people, the guard stopped him. He said, where are you going? You're not going. He said, I'm going to get hanged. Now this is a lie. Because the minister, one of the top ministers of the cabinet, he is getting into king's court, into his room, and saying, I am going to get hanged. That's not the place where he will be hanged. So they said, oh, he spoke a lie. Now take him. Now he was brought in front of the king. If he is hanged really, then he didn't speak a lie. Whatever he said was truth. Then you punished an innocent man for none of his crime. This is a big crime. If you don't hang him, then the law becomes obsolete. Then what to do? Then all the pandits were called, all the ministers were called, and there was a big debate. Now what is true? What to do? Should we hang him or not hang him? If you hang him also, you will violate a law. If you don't hang him also, you violate a law. King was in a fix. And everybody was in greater fix. And they asked Birbal, you yourself suggest, what do we do? Then Birbal says, see, truth is not what is spoken. Anything you speak becomes a lie. The moment you open your mouth, you are distorting what is. And what is truth. And to be with what is, to be truthful in one's life, one's presence, one's mind, one's heart, is following Satya. Not the words. Your intention, is it truthful? Your intention, is it straightforward? Your intention, is it clear? Or is there something else behind that? There's some other hooks you are keeping in. That indicates the truth. Second principle, truth. And the clarity in your intention. Straightforwardness in your approach. The truth is the second vrata. Second yama. Third thing, asteya, non-stealing. You look at somebody, oh, how nice, if I had a voice like them. You have already stolen their voice. You look at someone looking beautiful, oh, how nice, if I were looking like that. You have stolen. Do you see what I'm saying? This creates jealousy. Why people steal? Mine, I want to possess it. Asteya eliminates jealousy, non-stealing. People steal many things. People steal someone else's poem, someone else's things, someone else's techniques. These things doesn't work. People who steal, they remain poor. The effect of non-stealing is if you are committed to be sincere, non-stealing, sarva ratnopalabdhi, all the wealth comes to you effortlessly. All the wealth comes to you. A little intention to steal can keep you poor. You see what I'm saying? Most of the time poverty is self-made. As a person wants to be sneaky and try to grab as much as he can. That is where his luck goes down the drain. Non-stealing brings all the wealth. Brahmacharya pratishtayam virya labha. Brahmacharya, usually it's said as celibacy. Celibacy brings you strength, a lot of strength. But Brahmacharya has a deeper or bigger meaning than just celibacy. Brahma means the infinity. Charya means moving in the infinity. Knowing your vast nature, not thinking you are just the body, but you walk like you are a glow of light. You move in the world as though you are space. This is where celibacy naturally happens. See what I'm saying? When you are sitting in deep meditation, you don't feel that you are a body or lump of a heavy weight, 80 pounds or 90 to 100 pound body. You don't feel that you are 60 kilos sitting there solid. You feel so light. You feel as though you are like a feather. Doesn't it? When you walk, how do you feel? You don't feel the weight of your body. Feel you are more space. More joyful you are. You don't feel the body. The more you are in infinite consciousness, the least you are feeling the tension or the physical bodily weight or presence. That is Brahmacharya. Our consciousness expanded to the infinite, moving in the infinity, in our true nature, the nature that is space, brings a lot of vigor and valor and strength in us. Person who is always small-minded, always looking at who is good looking, with whom I can have sex, you will see his energy is so low, so dull, and nobody goes near that sort of person. Person who is obsessed with sex is so unattractive, isn't it? And he creates such a thick, dull and thick vibration around him or her that there is no strength, there is no vigor, there is no commitment, nothing comes out of them. Have you noticed this? If you have not noticed, see in all the, what are these places? The places where such people gather, bars, and you can find them in here and there in one of the streets. Such thick, lust-loaded mind, and they have no strength at all. They just go anywhere, go behind anybody, without even knowing where they are going. There is a story about Mullah Nasruddin. Mullah Nasruddin was watching a dance in a movie screen. So that actress was dancing. And Mullah was watching the dance, waiting. And suddenly Mullah went flat on the floor. His wife asked, "What is this? What are you looking?" He said, "I want to see the dance of this lady more closely. I'm waiting when she will sit down." The mind goes in such a craze that there is no strength left behind. And it's limited, then all jealousy, anger, agitation, frustration, everything comes. And when this negative, storms of negativity has come in your mind, I tell you that is the weakest and poorest mind. All the truth, all about existence, everything disappears. When your mind is obsessed with such a load of negativity about any person, you cannot even observe the beautiful nature you are in. Isn't it? Brahmacharya pratishtayam virya labha. Great strength comes when brahmacharya is established in you. That is when you are seeing yourself more than the body. You see yourself as consciousness, as Brahman. Aparigraha stairya janma khatayanta sambhoda. When you do not accumulate, then you get the knowledge of previous births. Knowledge of different species. The communication in you improves. See what I'm saying? See, when a person thinks more for me, just me, then he's obsessed with fear. One does not know the eternal value of life. Eternal value of life. Life has been there from ages, will continue for ages to come. Non-accumulation simply means confidence in one's existence. Confidence in one's ability. Knowledge of oneself. See what I'm saying? You know how to make bread and you know you can earn your bread. Then you will not make bread for a week and store it, or for a whole year and store it in your room. You know it will become stale. Things go stale. In China there is a proverb. What you give, you gain more. Whatever you scatter, you have it all. And what you have, hold on to, you lose that also. When you scatter, it all comes to you. Everything is yours. You are all over. Who is very stingy? Who is so afraid of himself? Who has no idea of his strength? A person who is very selfish, stingy, you know, called stingy, selfish. He stores and stores, accumulates. I think there are many stories about a very wealthy gentleman. He was dying, he was on his deathbed. But he was with the phone, looking into the share market, how much I'll make. He's going to die any moment, but he's concerned about what the share prices are, how much I am gaining, how much I lose. What is he going to do? It is inevitable he had to leave everything here and go. If the money transfer was possible, people would transfer all their bank balance up there before going. Lawyers will be free from writing wills. What is that? Will. They would transfer all their property up, take it with them. Fortunately or unfortunately, it's not possible. People accumulate and then they die. This does not mean you shouldn't save money. But he says, what is the effect of it? Janma katayan sambhavata. You know, when you give things to people, it brings back something to you. That is some good vibrations. And that makes you happy. If you are very unhappy and that day you give away something, give some gifts to somebody who is needy, you will see your consciousness will change, shift. Have you experienced this? And sometimes you accept things from someone. When you accept certain gifts or certain things, you feel unpleasant and unhappy. In ancient day, they knew these signs very well. So if someone accepts a gift, then the giver should be thankful. The giver is always thankful. Oh, I'm so thankful to you because you accepted what I gave. So that is called dakshina. They used to call people, wise people, to their homes or to their places, dwelling, whatever, and give them food and whatever. And when they accept all that, just to show thankfulness for having accepted their offering, they give one more offering. That is called dakshina. The giver is thankful here. Because it's not just taking something that they're giving back their mind. Taking away certain impressions or karmas of the past from their mind. Non-acceptance or non-accumulation of objects or things from people is asteya, aparigraha. Parigraha is always receiving what this person will give, what so and so will give, what so and so. This is parigraha, receiving it. You can try this as an experiment, okay, for some days. For 1 month, don't accept anything from anybody. You will see, you'll feel a different way. I mean, in the world it's practically not possible. You cannot say, I want to accept any people. There are people who practice this to the extreme. Don't have to go to the extreme, but being aware of this fact is useful. These 5 are Mahavrata, the great rules, the great vows. To whatever extent you practice, that extent they yield these said results. Vipaksha badane pratipaksha bhavanam. Suppose your mind says, no, I don't care about these things. I want to do what I want to do. If I want to be violent, I want to be violent. Then what to do? Father teaches Vipaksha Vadani, Pratipaksha Vadani. Take the opposite side of it. Before mentioning this, he also mentions the niyamas. What are the niyamas? The 5 yamas, there are 5 niyamas. The niyamas are Shaucha, Santosha, Tapas, Svadhyaya, Ishvara Pranidhanani niyama. Shaucha, purity, physical purity. Keep oneself clean. People who don't take bath for several days, just put on the perfume. This is no cleanliness. Water should run through this body, both inside and outside. You have to drink enough water and let water run through the system. Water is the greatest purifier for this physical body. Cleanliness in the atmosphere, in the environment. You know, if you are used to being unclean, you don't feel it that it's unclean. You can see that in third world countries, the slums, the people, they don't feel anything extraordinary. They feel it's all perfectly okay because they're so used to being so unclean. Cow dung there and this there and garbage around. It simply doesn't register in their consciousness. They get used to it. In the same way, you get used to being unclean, keeping your room unclean, yourself unclean. You know how it starts is, oh, I'll wear the same clothes tomorrow. Doesn't matter today if I don't wear it tomorrow. And then something or other, you are busy, keep yourself engaged. And 2, 3, 4 days you don't take bath and you don't notice how foul you are smelling, but somebody else gets so bothered by your being there. And worst thing is use perfume over it, so you don't even notice that smell. Bathing, keeping personal hygiene, very essential. Shaucha. And mind also clean. Antar shaucha, bahyabhyantara shaucha. Outer cleanliness, inner cleanliness, mind being free from tensions. Santosha, contentment, happiness. Happiness again is an attitude. If you are used being unhappy in the best of situations, you will still grumble and be unhappy. Nothing can make you happy in the world. See what I'm saying? We did this exercise this morning, keeping a smile and breathing. And just enjoy your breath. Did you notice? See, when you are happy, what is happening? When you are smiling, what is happening? There is so much relaxation in the face, in the muscles of the face, in the head, everywhere. There is freedom, there is joy, there is relaxation. And if you train your muscles and your nerve system being unhappy, that same thing continues. The knots and stresses in your face, stiffness in your head, stiffness in your body, and you remain unhappy, irrespective of situation, surrounding, whatever. Santosha is a practice. Being happy is a practice. Unconditionally happy is a practice. Come what may, today I am going to smile. Anyway, everything is going to die. Everything is going to vanish and disappear. So what? Who cares? Let me be, at least be happy. Smile this moment. Enjoy my very breath, if not nothing. If somebody else is upset, something else is wrong, never mind. At least you can breathe happily. Nobody is going to hold your nose. You are free there. You sell your happiness for peanuts. You sell your smile for pence. I tell you, it's not worth. The entire world is not worth your smile. Even if you are made the king of, or the emperor of the world, it's not worth giving away your smile. This is niyama, the rule, condition for yoga. One of the links, santosha, being happy. What is that there to be unhappy? Huh? You are losing millions of dollars. That's what makes you unhappy. So what? You are going to lose this body which is going to enjoy those millions of dollars. It has to have, so many people had millions of dollars, they all died. What you are unhappy about? Your friend leaving you? Your own body is going to desert you. Why you are so worried about your friend deserting you? Good, one thing gone, finished. Stage by sometimes, sometimes people lose one by one things. Sometimes they lose everything together. This is the only choice. Either you lose everything at one time, or one by one you keep losing. So when you lose a friend, think, okay, I lost one. Anyway, body is going to be lost after some time. Doesn't matter. I am in the second category, losing one by one. Isn't it? You're not going to die along with your friend. Or you're not going to take them to heaven, even if they don't want to come. Everyone has their own ticket, their own time, their own place booked. There you cannot say, I want to sit next to so and so. You cannot demand for your roommates there. Why not be happy now? Strength of your happiness is measured by the adverse situations you are in. If everything is smooth and you giving a big smile, there is nothing. That smile is worth nothing. But if you could smile through any situation, through any event, so what? I keep a big smile. Let the world die and disappear. I am not going to sell my smile. I am not going to be unhappy. This strength in you, santosha, this is an attitude develop. Again, another Mullah Nasruddin story. Mullah Nasruddin used to be grumbling all the time. He was a farmer. So he would grumble, oh, there are no rain. Like there was no rain in California for so many years. So, oh, there is no rain and no crops are coming and it's so difficult, and he was grumbling. And that year there was very good rainfall and he had great crops in his fields. When people thought Nasruddin, this year he will not grumble here because his crops have come so nice, so good, so well. There's no problem, they say, he must be at least happy. So people went to greet him. Oh Mullah, how are you? And it seemed to be doing very good, lots of crops, your field is simply, so flourishing and so attractive. The Mullah had the same long face. Said, yes, I have so much work to do now. All these years I didn't have to do anything. There was no crops. But now so much crops and I have to do this and go to market, sell them. It's a big headache. Still grumbling. Whether there was crop or not, your grumbling continues. Same way in your life, you are unhappy about things you have, you are unhappy about things you don't have. Isn't it? See, someone who doesn't have a car is unhappy because he doesn't have a car. Someone who has a car is unhappy because he has to maintain that car and such a big headache. Pay the tax and do this and I may get a ticket and this. Oh, so many. I would simply take a public transport and go before now. Do the servicing to this car and when I go out, keep it somewhere, the battery goes down, do something about it. 101 thing about it. Santosha, develop the habit of being happy. You have to do it. Nothing else can give you that. Nobody else can do it. Anybody else, anything else does it, it will only be very temporary. You take a step. Tapas, Svadhyaya, Ishvara Pranidhana. This we have described. A little tapas, endurance, patience. Svadhyaya, self-study and devotion to the God, to the Lord. Devotion to Lord. These are 5 rules. Vipaksha Badhani, Pratipaksha Bhava. When the opposite of this bothers you, when your mind rebels against these principal rules, then you bring up the feeling which is the opposite of it. And what is that? He says, Vitarkaha, Himsadayaha, Kruta, Karita, Anumodita, Lobha, Krodha, Moha Purvaka, Mrudu Madhyadi Matra, Dukkha, Jnana, Ananta, Phala iti Pratipaksha Bhavanam. Violence, etc. Violence, untruth, and all these, the opposite values. Whether done by us or we make someone else do it, or we agree with somebody who did it. The 3 types of it. Either you directly indulge in violence, or you have someone else do that job because you don't want to do it. Or when someone does it, you just agree with them. Or you, approve that. Approve someone else's action. These 3 comes from lobha, greed, krodha, anger, moha, delusion. When you are greedy, you make someone else do the action which you want to do. It's out of greed, violence, or untruth, and all these negative principles thrive. When a person is greedy, he doesn't see things as they are. Also, when a person is angry, obsessed with anger, person's discrimination, mind gets clouded, discrimination disappears. He doesn't know what he does. So when you are acting or approving some action, see behind that is it not anger in me that is making me do this job? Or is it not my attachment, my entanglement, my delusion that's stimulating me for this action? Reflect on this. This could be mild, medium, or excess. And what do they give? They bring sorrow, dukkha, ajnana, ignorance, chain of sorrow and ignorance. This is what the opposite of this will bring to us. When you know this is only going to cause me more pain and more suffering, you will shrink away, shy away from these acts. You will adhere to your rules. There are millions out there in the world who are engaged in violent activity. Why? They do not even know those activities going to bring them more pain and suffering. They are ignorant of it, they are ignorant of the pain, they are ignorant of suffering. Because suffering is not palatable, it's not pleasing to anybody in the world. Not even an ant wants to suffer, not even a cockroach likes suffering. No human being wants to suffer. But why so many people are engaged in criminal activity? Because they are not aware it's only going to bring them more suffering, more pain, more ignorance. Isn't it? So see this, wake up. That's what it is. And that is 100% true. Shauchat swangai jigupsai paraira samsarga. Personal hygiene, cleanliness. With this, your attachment to the physical body is lifted up. You become more aware of your inner self, inner body, the light body that you are. Swangai jigupsa. Craving for one's physical different parts of the body. Craving for certain parts of the body begins in our mind because one does not totally understand this body. Underneath the skin is all bones, flesh, nerves. Lack of total understanding of the body brings different forms of obsessions and maniacs. And those people cannot be satisfied by anything. The different obsessions take over them. And they become violent. That's why in the world there are many crimes that related to the body happen. People kill each other just for fun. So many crimes of sex happen. Because lack of understanding of one's own body. Shaucha, cleanliness, establishes what sattva should be. The mind becomes sattvic, the brain becomes the buddhi, intellect gets purified. Saumanasya, mind becomes even and harmonious. Ekagrata, one-pointedness. Indriya jayatva, say over one's sense organs. Atmadarshana yogyatvam, ability to realize oneself comes to you by purity. You can try this also. See, when you are very unhappy or depressed for some time, not be in contact with anybody, even this is a very natural inbuilt thing in our system, When you feel very unpleasant, depressed, you want to shut away from everybody and just remain with yourself. Isn't it? It's a very natural thing. Non-contact with anyone else can bring certain amount of purity in you. Do you see what I'm saying? Non-contact of any sort, even mental, can bring up the ability to realize oneself. Can make your brain, your mind more one-pointed. Can bring clarity in thinking. What I'm saying? That's why most of the great works in the world have come up in solitude. You see that? When a great poem has to come, that the person has to sit alone, then he can write a great poem. A great painter wants to be by himself when he wants to paint something. Here also people can use it for extremity. No? Non-contact means, oh, don't touch me, don't touch me. People shy away. People can take these things to the extreme and distort. And this is what has happened. This science has been misused in various ways. But this is a truth. Don't touch anybody, don't be in contact with anybody for a day or two. You will see your mind will get back to its shape. These are the effects of Shaucha. Santoshadanutthama sukhalabha. Santosha, happiness, contentment gives great joy. Anuttama, there is the greatest happiness will come. It will give. Just cultivating this habit, this attitude of being happy, will in turn give you not misery. It's not just a mood making. Listen. An attitude, okay, I will be happy. I'll move through this. Then that brings you greatest happiness, uncomparable happiness in life. Cannot be compared to anything. Kayendriya siddhi rashuddhi kshaya tapasa. By tapas, the body and the senses become strong. By your fasting, you are not pleasing God, or you are not go to heaven or get enlightenment. What happens by fasting or by practicing, by doing all these different practices? Your body becomes strong, can withstand heat, withstand cold, resistance power increases. All this happens. Tapas, the effect of tapas is body and senses become strong. Ashuddhi kshaya, the impurities are eliminated, they reduce. Swadhyayad ishta devata samprayoga. By self-study, swadhyaya, the devas, the divine presences are felt, are experienced. By self-study, by observing, by being hollow and empty, you become a channel. You become a part of the divine. You are able to feel the presence of the divinity. All different angels and devas, all these different forms of our consciousness start blossoming. Samadhi siddhirishvara pranidhanat. By one-pointed devotion to the divine, samadhi comes about. Sthira sukha masanam. Now we have said all the yama and niyama. Now what is asana? Sthira sukha asanam. That which is steady and which is comfortable is the asana. So when we are comfortable, we are not steady. We are not sitting erect. But when we are erect, we are so stiff, we are not comfortable. But asana is when both of these are together. You get it? You are erect, steady, at the same time comfortable. Sthira sukham asanam. And what is the effect of asana? Prayatna Shaitilyad Ananta Samapatibhyam. Prayatna Shaitilya, letting go the effort. Main point of it. Feeling the body, letting go the effort and experiencing the infinity. Harmonizing oneself with the infinity. That anyway we all do in the asana, right? With all the, have you noticed? With all awareness when you do asanas afterwards, how it feels? Totally spaced out, no spacey. Prayatna Shaitilya, let go of the effort. Sit in a comfortable posture and happily, Sukhamasana. Pleasurable. Feel as though it's a pleasure just to be, just to sit. That is Sukha. Sukha is pleasure. How do you approach a pleasure? Oh, great. Oh, wonderful. Like that sit. Oh, wonderful. Have you ever sat steadily saying, oh, it's wonderful just to be, just to sit? If you do once, you'll see how wonderful it is. Prayatna Shaitilya, letting go of all the effort and feeling the infinity. And what is the effect of it? What does it do? Tato dvandva na bhigata. It hits the duality or the conflicts in. It roots out the conflicts in. Dvandva na bhigata. Anytime you are confused, your mind is in conflict, do asanas. Sitting in asana, you will see right away clarity comes. Effect of asana is clearing out all conflicts, duality. Tasmin sati shvasa prashvasyor gati vichchedaha pranayama. There, in that state of asana, in any state of asana, obstructing the flow of breath that is natural. Here it is obstructing the natural flow because your flow is not natural at all. We have made our breath so unnatural by being unnatural. So whatever now is natural is not natural. We have to revert back. So how do you revert back? Not just accepting what is, however the breath is going, I accept it. No. Gati vichchedaha. Break its movement. Break the movement of breath by consciously breathing deep, long, subtle, with counts and having attention at different places. That is the next sutra. Bahyabhyantara stamba vritti deshakala sankhyavi paridrishto dirgha sukshmaha. In one sutra has described all the pranayamas. Just one sutra. Breathe in, hold, and breathe out, and hold, and with different counts, having attention at different parts of body. Finished. One sentence, one sutra, all pranayamas are coming. Most of it. Bahyantara Vishayakshepi Chaturtha. But there is one more pranayama that happens automatically. when all the thoughts and ideas are, objects from the mind are cleared, then there is a natural pranayama that starts. It throws out all the impurities from the mind. That's the fourth pranayama. Bahyantara Vishayakshepi Chaturtaha. So then pranayama again says, learn with the proper guidance. Just don't do on your own, anywhere here and there. Proper guidance. That pranayama which happens all by itself without any effort. That is the fourth pranayama. When you go deep, the pranayama starts happening. Breath starts happening. It breaks that routine way of breathing. It assumes or forms its own different rhythm. There is a fourth type of pranayam, and what is the effect of all this pranayam? Tatakshiyate prakashavaranam. They thin down the curtain around the light. You are the light, but you do not know because there is a thick curtain around you, an iron curtain around you. And this thins down that iron curtain, makes it even more transparent. That you are able to see that you are light. Tatakshiyate prakashava. The benefit of pranaya. And then another benefit, dharanasucha yogyata manasa. Now, mind gets this ability to stay at any one point in the body. To stay on any one thing. It gains the ability to intend. Till now there was no intention. You are just like a crowd moving. There was no you inside. You had no intention at all. Now with pranayama, clarity comes, then you are able to have an intention, a direction. That's why you have noticed after good pranayama, you sit, your mind is more clear, more steady, more calm. You are able to feel your body. You are able to meditate even. Isn't it? Huh? Svavishaya samprayoge chitta swarupānukāra ivendriyanam pratyahara. Mind is used to clinging on to objects of senses. But when you give them some other object to cling on, that's what different guided meditations are for. That is called pratyahara, means a substitute food for mind. A substitution for mind to coax it to come inside. So you danced, it was a substitution, and after dance you said, see how wonderful it was. So this is called pratyahara, a substitute food for mind to dive inside. Tatah parama vashyatendriyanam, that brings all our senses, our body, everything together as one whole. You feel you are one whole. You have felt that, haven't you? After good meditation, a good sitting, oh, I am whole, I am total. That's what Jesus said, I have come to make men whole. My purpose here is to make you whole, complete person. That's what you feel you do when you do kriya, when you do satsang, sing. Your energy becomes complete. You feel total. You become whole. Tatah paramavashitendriyanam. Then all your senses, they listen to you, not you don't have to listen them. Paramavashite. There's such contentment, such peace, such joy, such elevation, such completeness. This is the effect of Pratyahara. There we conclude the second chapter. Jai Krishna.